I still remember the shattering sound of glass hitting the marble floor. My husband stood there, chest heaving, the wine bottle he'd just hurled at me lying in 1,000 crimson-stained pieces at my feet. His face was twisted into something I didn't recognize. Something cruel. "You selfish, ungrateful bitch!" he screamed, his voice echoing through the restaurant. "How dare you embarrass my mother like that? How dare you?" My ear was ringing. A shard had grazed my temple. I could feel warm blood trickling down my cheek. Around us, the entire anniversary party had gone silent. 50 guests, frozen. My mother-in-law Jennifer sat there with a small, satisfied smile playing at her lips. My sister-in-law Sarah was recording everything on her phone, probably already composing the social media post about how I'd ruined everything. All because I'd refused to sign the papers that would make them partners in my law firm. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you how a successful attorney with 20 years of experience, someone who'd already survived one divorce and swore she'd never be manipulated again, ended up bloodied in front of 50 people at what was supposed to be her 5th wedding anniversary celebration. It started so differently, so promisingly. I met Marcus at a charity gala 3 years ago. I was 35, newly made partner at my law firm, and honestly, I wasn't looking for anything serious. My first marriage had ended badly when I was 28. My ex-husband couldn't handle that I out-earned him. I'd spent the last 7 years building my practice, working 70-hour weeks, proving I didn't need anyone. Marcus seemed different. He was charming, attentive, and most importantly, he had his own thing going. He ran a boutique marketing consultancy, worked with small businesses, seemed passionate about helping entrepreneurs. He talked about his work with such enthusiasm, and I found it refreshing. He wasn't intimidated by my success. In fact, he seemed to admire it. "You're incredible," he'd say, watching me prepare for trials. "The way your mind works, it's like watching an artist." 6 months in, I met his family. His mother, Jennifer, a retired school principal. His sister, Sarah, who worked in real estate. They seemed nice enough at first. Normal. Jennifer hugged me warmly, told me how happy she was that Marcus had found someone stable and accomplished. "He's been through so much," she confided over coffee while Marcus was out of the room. "His business has had its ups and downs. It's such a relief that he has you now. Someone solid." At the time, I took it as a compliment. Looking back, I should have heard the warning bells. We got married a year later. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. I kept my house, the 3-bedroom craftsman in a good neighborhood that I'd bought myself 5 years earlier. Marcus moved in. He offered to contribute to the mortgage, but honestly, his income was unpredictable. Some months his consultancy brought in $8,000, other months barely $3,000. I made a steady $120,000 a year, plus bonuses. I told him not to worry about it, that we'd figure out a system that worked for both of us. "I'll get there," he promised. "My business is growing. Give me time." And I believed him. I wanted to believe him. The first red flag came 2 months after the wedding. Marcus casually mentioned over breakfast that his mother was having financial troubles. "The retirement pension isn't stretching as far as she thought," he explained. "She's worried about her mortgage." "That's tough," I said sympathetically. "Has she looked into refinancing?" "Actually, I was thinking," he hesitated. "Maybe we could help her out? Just for a few months until she gets on her feet?" I should have said no. But his mother had been so welcoming, and it was only supposed to be temporary. $500 a month. I could manage that. Except it wasn't temporary. 3 months later, Sarah called. She was crying. Her real estate deals had fallen through. She was behind on rent. She might get evicted. Could we possibly help? Just this once? Marcus looked at me with those puppy dog eyes. "It's my sister. I can't let her end up on the street. Another $500 a month." Then Jennifer needed a new car. "Nothing fancy," she assured us. "Just something reliable." We co-signed a loan for $15,000. Jennifer made the first 2 payments, then suddenly couldn't afford it anymore. Guess who the bank came after? 6 months into our marriage, I was supporting not just Marcus, but his entire family to the tune of nearly $2,000 a month. And Marcus's business? Still growing. Still inconsistent. Still requiring my financial safety net. But it wasn't just about money. That would have been manageable. What I didn't expect was how they'd start inserting themselves into every aspect of my life. Jennifer started showing up at our house unannounced. I was just in the neighborhood, she'd say, walking in with her spare key, the one Marcus had given her without asking me. She'd rearrange my kitchen cabinets, criticize my decorating choices, comment on what I was making for dinner. Marcus grew up eating home-cooked meals every night, she'd say pointedly, looking at the takeout containers. Not that I'm judging your career, dear, but a man needs to feel nurtured at home. I worked 60-hour weeks. Some nights, takeout was the only option. But I started coming home earlier, cooking elaborate meals I didn't have energy for, just to avoid her passive-aggressive comments. Sarah was worse. She'd drop by needing to borrow things. My laptop for a quick presentation, my nice clothes for an important showing, my car because hers was making a weird noise. Everything came back late, damaged, or not at all. Family shares, Marcus would say when I complained. That's what family does. But they weren't sharing with me. They were taking. The real turning point came 18 months into the marriage. I'd been working on opening my own practice. After 15 years at a corporate firm, I wanted independence. I had the clients, the reputation, the seed money I'd saved. I found a small office space, hired 2 associates, and a paralegal, Rachel Morrison Law, specializing in family law and estate planning. It was my dream. I made the mistake of telling them at Sunday dinner. "That's wonderful, dear," Jennifer said, but there was something calculating in her eyes. "You know, Sarah has been thinking about a career change. Real estate is so unstable. Maybe she could work for you?" "Mom, I don't have any legal experience," Sarah protested weakly. "You could be the office manager?" Jennifer continued as if Sarah hadn't spoken. "You're so organized, and it would be perfect, keeping it in the family." Marcus jumped in. "That's actually a great idea. Sarah's been struggling, and you could probably use someone you trust, right?" I felt trapped. I've already hired someone for that position. "Well, there must be something she could do," Jennifer pressed. "Receptionist? File clerk? I'll think about it," I said, just to end the conversation. I should have known they wouldn't let it go. A week later, Sarah showed up at my office. I hadn't even officially opened yet. I was still setting up, painting walls, arranging furniture. "I brought you lunch," she said brightly, holding up a bag from an expensive deli. "And I thought I could help you set up. I'm so good at organizing." Before I could refuse, she was rearranging my file system, moving furniture, making suggestions about where everything should go. When I politely tried to redirect her, she pouted. "I'm just trying to help. Marcus said you were stressed about getting everything ready." By the end of the week, Sarah had appointed herself my unofficial assistant. She'd show up every day, despite me never asking her to, despite me telling her I had it handled. She'd answer my phone, talk to my clients, give them advice. She had absolutely no qualification to give. "I told Mrs. Henderson she should definitely fight for full custody," she announced one day. "Sarah, you can't do that. You're not an attorney. You could get me disbarred for unauthorized practice of law." She rolled her eyes. "I was just being helpful." "God, you're so uptight about everything." When I asked Marcus to talk to his sister, to explain that she couldn't just show up at my workplace, he got defensive. "She's trying to support you. Why are you being so cold to her? She's family. She's not an employee, Marcus. She's creating liability issues. Maybe if you actually hired her properly, there wouldn't be liability issues." I stared at him. "Are you seriously suggesting I should hire your unqualified sister just to make this easier? She needs a job, Rachel. You have a business. Is it really so crazy that family helps family?" That was the first time I truly saw it. The manipulation. The assumption that everything I'd built belonged to all of them by default. But it got worse. 2 months after I opened my practice, Jennifer called me at work. "I need to talk to you about something important. Can you meet me for coffee?" I should have said no. But she'd sounded genuinely concerned, almost sad. I thought maybe she was finally going to apologize for how pushy they'd all been. I met her at a cafe near my office. "Rachel, I need to be honest with you," she started, her hands wrapped around her coffee cup. "I'm worried about Marcus." "Worried how?" "His business is failing, really failing. He hasn't wanted to tell you because he's ashamed, but he's drowning in debt. Business loans, credit cards, The works. My stomach dropped. How much debt? $50,000, maybe more. I felt sick. We'd been married 2 years. How had I not known? But then again, we kept separate accounts. He'd always been vague about his business finances. I'd respected his privacy, assuming he was handling it. He needs help, Rachel. Real help. And I had an idea that could solve everything. Here it came. What if you brought him into your practice? As a partner. He's brilliant with marketing, with client relations. He could bring in so much business, and having a financial stake would give him the security he needs to pay off his debts and rebuild. Jennifer, he's not a lawyer. He can't be a partner in a law firm. Not a legal partner, but a business partner. Managing the business side. Sarah could handle the office management. Marcus could handle marketing and client development. It would be perfect. A real family business. I already have systems in place. I don't need Rachel. Her voice turned sharp. My son is drowning. You're his wife. Don't you think you have a responsibility to help him? I've been helping him. I've been paying our entire mortgage, his car payment, supporting him while he builds his business. A business that's failing because he doesn't have the kind of opportunities you have. You're a lawyer. You make good money. Is it really so much to ask that you share that with your husband? The way she said it made me feel guilty and angry at the same time, like I was being selfish for not handing over the business I'd built from scratch. I need to think about it, I said. Don't think too long. Marcus is barely holding on. When I got home that night, I confronted Marcus about the debt. He admitted it all. $53,000, to be exact. Maxed out credit cards, defaulted business loans, collections agencies calling. Why didn't you tell me? I asked, feeling betrayed. Because I was ashamed. Because I didn't want you to think less of me. Because I wanted to fix it myself. Marcus, we're married. We're supposed to handle these things together. Then help me handle it. Let me work with you. Let me be part of your success, instead of just the guy who lives in your house and can't keep up. The way he said it hit something deep. My first husband had said similar things, resented me for out-earning him. Was I doing the same thing again? Was I being too independent, too closed off? I'll think about bringing you on for business development, I said carefully. But Sarah can't work there. I need professional boundaries. He kissed me. Thank you. You won't regret this. But I did regret it. Immediately. Marcus started at my firm the next month as Director of Business Development. I gave him a modest salary, $30,000 a year, which was honestly more than he was bringing in from his consultancy. The plan was that he'd focus on networking, bringing in new clients, building our reputation. Instead, he gave jobs to his entire extended family. His cousin David became our IT consultant despite having no IT certification. He charged us $2,000 a month to basically reset our router occasionally. Sarah convinced Marcus she needed to be brought on as client relations coordinator, another $2,000 a month. Jennifer decided she should be our senior advisor because she'd dealt with people for 30 years as a principal, another $1,500 a month. Within 3 months, I was paying his entire family nearly $8,000 monthly in salaries for jobs that either didn't need to exist or were being done poorly. My actual qualified employees were getting frustrated. Rachel, Sarah scheduled 3 clients for the same time slot again. My associate Megan complained. And when I tried to fix it, she said I was undermining her authority. David can't figure out how to set up the conference call system, my paralegal James reported. I asked him 3 times. He keeps saying he'll get to it. Jennifer was the worst. She'd come into the office acting like she owned the place, reorganizing filing systems I'd specifically set up for legal compliance, throwing away documents she deemed unnecessary that were actually crucial case files. I'm streamlining things, she'd say when I confronted her. You lawyers make everything so complicated. Common sense is what you need. Jennifer, you destroyed 3 months of discovery documents. I have to request them all again from opposing counsel. Do you know how that makes me look? She patted my hand condescendingly. You're stressed, dear. Maybe you should take a vacation. Let Marcus handle things for a while. I went to Marcus that night, ready to put my foot down. They have to go. All of them. This isn't working. You're not giving them a fair chance. Marcus, your mother threw away legal documents. Sarah triple-booked clients. David is charging us consultant rates to Google basic tech questions. This is my practice. My reputation on the line. Our practice, he corrected. I'm a partner now, remember? You're not a partner. You're an employee. I own this firm. His face darkened. Is that how you see me? Just an employee? Not your husband? Not your equal? Just some guy who works for you? That's not what I meant. It's exactly what you meant. You've never seen me as an equal. You've always looked down on me because I don't make as much as you. Well, excuse me for trying to build something instead of just climbing the corporate ladder. He stormed out. I sat there, wondering how we'd gotten to this point. The breaking point came 6 weeks later. Marcus called me into the conference room. I need to talk to you about the future of the firm. Jennifer and Sarah were already there. My stomach sank. We've been discussing the firm's trajectory, Marcus started. And we think it's time to formalize the partnership structure. What partnership structure? Jennifer slid papers across the table. We had an attorney draw these up. It's a partnership agreement. Marcus, Sarah, and I would each get 25% equity. You'd retain 25% and remain managing partner, but major decisions would require majority vote. I stared at the papers, not believing what I was seeing. You want me to give away 75% of my firm? The firm I built? The firm we're all building together, Sarah corrected. We've been working so hard. Don't we deserve to have a real stake? You've been working for 6 weeks. I've been building this for 20 years. And we're family, Jennifer said. Don't you think family deserves more than just a paycheck? Marcus is your husband. Don't you want him to feel like a real partner in your life? This is insane. I'm not signing this. Marcus's face hardened. Then we'll have to reconsider our involvement with the firm. Good. Please do. You're all fired. Jennifer's eyes flashed. You can't fire us. Yes, I can. This is my firm. I'm the sole owner. You all work at my discretion. We'll see about that, Marcus said quietly. We'll see what a judge thinks about a wife refusing to let her husband be part of her business, especially when he's been integral to its growth. Integral? Marcus, you've brought in exactly 0 new clients. That's not true, Sarah interjected. He brought in the Henderson divorce case. Mrs. Henderson was referred by Judge Wilson, who I've known for 15 years. Well, we have different memories of that, Marcus said. And I'm sure our attorney will find our version more compelling. I looked at my husband, this man I'd trusted, and realized I didn't know him at all. Get out of my office, all of you. This is our office too, Jennifer said, settling back in her chair. And we're not going anywhere. I called building security. They escorted all 3 of them out. Marcus was screaming the entire time. You'll regret this, Rachel. You think you can just throw us away like garbage? We'll take everything, everything. That night, I changed the locks on my house and my office. Marcus showed up at 11 p.m., pounding on the door. Let me in. This is my house too. Not anymore, I called through the door. I'm filing for divorce in the morning. My attorney will be in touch. He put his fist through my living room window. Police came. I filed a report. Got a temporary restraining order. I thought that would be the end of it. But Jennifer wasn't done. Not even close. She started a social media campaign, posted on every platform about the heartless attorney who abandoned her husband in his time of need, claimed I'd promised Marcus partnership and then fired him out of spite. Said I'd used his marketing expertise to build my firm and then cast him aside. My phone started ringing with concerned clients. Is it true you're having personal problems? Should we be worried about our cases? I had to hire a PR firm to manage the damage. Then Sarah filed a workplace discrimination complaint, claiming I'd created a hostile work environment and fired her for being a woman. Despite the fact that half my staff were women, despite the fact that she'd been there 6 weeks and had nearly destroyed my practice, the state bar launched an investigation. I had to provide documentation for everything, prove that I hadn't actually done anything wrong. It took months and cost me $15,000 in legal fees. But the worst was yet to come. 2 weeks before our anniversary, which I'd completely forgotten about in the chaos of the divorce proceedings, I got a call from Marcus. I want to work this out, he said. I love you. I miss you. My family got carried away, but it was only because they love me and want what's best for us. Please, can we talk? Maybe at a public place so you feel safe? I was exhausted, emotionally drained. Part of me wondered if I'd overreacted, if maybe we could find some middle ground. My best friend Diane, who'd been my rock through all of this, told me I was crazy. Rachel, he put his fist through your window. His family tried to steal your business. Don't meet him. But I did. I agreed to meet him at Antonio's, a nice Italian restaurant, just to talk, just to see if there was anything salvageable. I showed up and found a party. 50 people, all Marcus's family and friends. Decorations, a banner that said, "Happy 5th anniversary, Rachel and Marcus." He'd planned an anniversary party without telling me, at a restaurant where I'd agreed to a private conversation. I turned to leave. "Wait!" Marcus grabbed my arm. "Please! I wanted to do something special, to show you how much I care, how much we all care." Jennifer appeared with champagne. "This is what family does, Rachel. We celebrate together. We work through our problems together." Everyone was watching. I felt trapped. "Just stay for dinner," Marcus pleaded. "Please. Then, if you want to leave, I won't stop you." Against every instinct, I sat down. Dinner was a nightmare. Jennifer and Sarah took turns making speeches about the importance of family and forgiveness and not letting career success destroy relationships. Marcus's uncle made a toast about how wives need to be supportive of their husbands' dreams. Every word felt like an attack disguised as sentiment. Then, Jennifer stood up with a folder. "I have a gift for you both," she announced. "A real partnership agreement, one that's fair to everyone." She opened it. The same papers from before, wanting 75% of my firm. "We just need your signature, Rachel. Right here. Then we can all move forward as a real family." Everyone was watching, waiting. "No," I said quietly. "What?" Jennifer's smile faltered. "No, I'm not signing that. I'm not giving you my business." "Rachel, don't make a scene," Marcus hissed. "I'm not making a scene. You are. You ambushed me with a party I didn't want, in front of people I don't know, to pressure me into signing away everything I've built." "We built," Marcus corrected. "We built it together." "You've been involved for 4 months, Marcus. I built it over 20 years. "You selfish bitch," he snarled, loud enough that the nearby tables fell silent. "After everything my family has done for you." "Done for me? You've taken everything. Money, time, peace of mind. You've tried to steal my business. You've harassed my clients. You've cost me tens of thousands in legal fees. What exactly have you done for me?" "I loved you," he screamed. "I gave you a family. I gave you purpose beyond your pathetic career. I had purpose before you. I had success, peace, happiness." That's when he threw the wine bottle. I saw it coming just in time to duck. It shattered against the wall behind me. Glass flew everywhere. Some of it caught my temple. I felt the warm trickle of blood. The restaurant went silent. Marcus stood there, breathing hard, his face red with rage. "You stupid woman," he said, his voice shaking. "How dare you go against my mother? How dare you embarrass us like this?" Jennifer's satisfied smile told me everything I needed to know. This had been the plan all along. Push me until I broke. And if I didn't break, make me break. I stood up calmly, pulled out my phone, and called 911. "I need to report an assault," I said clearly, my voice steady despite the blood running down my face. Marcus's eyes went wide. "Wait, I didn't mean—" "My husband just threw a wine bottle at me in front of 50 witnesses. I'm injured. I need police and medical assistance." I hung up and looked at Jennifer. "You wanted a scene? Congratulations. You got one." The police arrived within minutes. Marcus tried to claim it was an accident, that he was just gesturing, and the bottle slipped. But everyone had seen it. Everyone had heard him screaming. They took photos of my injury, took statements from witnesses. Several people who didn't even know me came forward to say they'd seen him deliberately throw it at me. Marcus was arrested. Jennifer tried to intervene, claiming I was overreacting, that it was just a marital spat. The officers told her that assault was assault, regardless of marital status. I went to the hospital, got 7 stitches, got the medical report documented, got copies of everything. My attorney, Patricia, met me there. "I'm getting you a permanent restraining order," she said, "against all of them. Marcus, his mother, his sister, anyone associated with them. Can you do that? After this? Absolutely. And Rachel, we're going to make sure you keep everything. Your house, your firm, your assets. They're not getting a penny. The next few months were a blur. Court dates, depositions, restraining order hearings. Marcus's attorney tried to argue that he was entitled to half of everything, that my firm had grown during our marriage, so he deserved part of it. Patricia destroyed him. She showed that my firm had been established before the marriage, that the growth was due to my reputation and client base that existed before Marcus. That Marcus had actually cost the business money through his family's incompetence and the PR nightmare they created. She presented the partnership papers they'd tried to force me to sign. This wasn't a partnership, Patricia told the judge. This was attempted theft, disguised as family support. The judge agreed. I kept my house, my firm, all my assets. Marcus got nothing. The prenup I'd insisted on before marriage protected everything. Jennifer tried to sue me separately for wrongful termination on behalf of herself and Sarah. That case was dismissed within weeks. Employment at will, no contract, documentation of poor performance, and actual damage to the business. Marcus violated the restraining order twice, once showing up at my office, once waiting outside my house. Both times, he was arrested. The judge finally sentenced him to 6 months in jail. During one of the court appearances, Jennifer screamed at me in the hallway. "You destroyed my son! You've taken everything from him!" "I took nothing," I said calmly. "I simply refused to let him take everything from me. He loved you. He loved my money, my house, my business. He didn't love me. None of you did. Sarah was there too, filming again. The internet is going to see what kind of person you really are." "Good," I said. "Make sure they see the court documents too. The restraining orders, the assault charge. Make sure they see everything." She stopped filming. The divorce was finalized 3 years ago. Marcus's business failed completely. Last I heard, he was working retail and living with his mother. Jennifer still posts about me occasionally on social media, but I have her blocked. Sarah tried to apply for a receptionist position at my firm under a fake name last year. We recognized her immediately and rejected the application. My practice has thrived. I have 12 attorneys now, 4 paralegals, a proper office manager who actually knows what she's doing. My revenue has tripled. I've been featured in legal journals for my work on complex family law cases. I'm 58 now. Never remarried. Never wanted to. I date occasionally. But I'm careful. Very careful. People sometimes ask me if I have regrets, if I wished I'd handled things differently. The truth is, my only regret is not seeing it sooner. Not recognizing the red flags when they were still small. Not trusting my instincts when they told me something was wrong. But I don't regret standing my ground. I don't regret protecting what I'd built. I don't regret choosing myself over people who only saw me as a resource to be exploited. Jennifer told me once that family comes first, that blood is thicker than water. But the full quote is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. The relationships we choose, the bonds we forge through loyalty and respect, those matter more than the accident of shared genetics. Marcus and his family weren't my covenant. They were parasites. And the day I finally understood that was the day I started winning. Some people call me cold, heartless, a career woman who chose money over love. But here's what I know. I chose dignity. I chose self-respect. I chose the life I'd built with my own hands over the one they wanted to steal. And I'd make that choice again in a heartbeat. Because at the end of the day, the person you need to be able to live with is yourself. And I sleep very well at night. In my house, surrounded by the success I earned, free from people who saw me as nothing more than a meal ticket. That scar on my temple? It's still there. A thin, white line that most people don't even notice. But I see it every morning when I look in the mirror. It reminds me that I survived, that I fought back, that I won. And that's worth more than all the fake family love in the world.